My media product consisted of a teaser trailer, as well as a film poster and a website. The three media products used traditional conventions from real media products. I've created my teaser trailer for a new horror and slasher production, Too Close to Home, based on forms and conventions. Prior to constructing my own teaser trailer, I spent time researching similar products and analysing how they use conventions such as pace, edits, narrative structure, mise-en-scène, camera shots and angles in order to create meaning and atmosphere. Through planning, I've also kept the overall details of the teaser trailer similar to these existing products, ensuring my trailer looks more professional and realistic. Textual analysis has broadened my knowledge of specific conventions, including within horror and slasher genres. I use conventions of horror film trailers such as Amityville, Sorry to Row, Scream and Halloween. I emulated the structure of the trailers such as the pace of the trailer as it got faster towards the end to make it seem more intense. Another example is near to the end of my trailer. As credits are shown, someone shouts, "Leave her alone." I've done this in order to make the audience anxious to see what's going to happen, which is a common convention used in horror slasher films. Another common convention is to use attractive young males and females and a lot of screaming and shouting and showing them in fear. Therefore, I used a male and female cast, as well as including a variety of diegetic sound, mainly during the middle and ending of the show, in order to show the audience that something bad going to happen. Too Close to Home shows blood and horrific scenes. This is used in most horror films. In some scenes, blood is explicit, shown on the killer's weapon and on the ground when the group of teenagers follow the trails. I have included several clips of diegetic sound of showing the characters in distress, so that the audience get an idea that something dreadful is going to happen. The audience is left wondering why the characters are shouting, screaming, and in fear, making the trailer more intense. This is common conventions such as in the film Amityville and Sorry to Row. The girls are screaming and the audience is left unaware of what is actually going to happen, and the audience is left on a cliffhanger. The audience are unaware of what is actually going to happen because it's only a trailer, and I didn't want to show the audience too much of the narrative. Only parts so they anticipate to the film and get anxious to see it. For example, when one of the main characters is running through what is believed to be a forest, at the end of the trailer she is being chased by the unknown killer. However, it is unclear if she survives or if her brother survives or not. A subgenre helps the audience as it determines what type of horror film they will be watching. Within subgenres, there are a lot of different ways that a horror film can be separated into slashers, such as teen horror, slasher, serial killer, syntactic, or Dracula. All these subgenres are different, but there are similarities between them. The reason why I chose subgenre horror slasher was because at that time there wasn't many of that type out, as there are plenty others. The subgenre is defined by stating it is involving someone that is attempting to kill by stalking the main characters and also killing sequences, the use of cutting tools, and a lot of violent scenes. I use the following preview restrictions as the first shot of my trailer. This is what happens in every single movie trailer, as it's a very common convention in real media texts. It also seems like a requirement because all trailers include this, mainly as it is a legal obligation to show what the film is rated and the classification of the movie. Through planning, I also gathered that many trailers provide the name of the producers. This is evident from the use of institutional information, as both beginning and end I've used through the trailer. I've used both horror and institutions so that the target audience will be drawn into the production through the use of recognisable logos. Audience may have a desire to watch the production based on the construction of the teaser trailer, similar to existing products. Targeted audience will have a better understanding of the purpose of the product and feel familiar with the trailer. The audience gratification relating to this convention include audiences anticipating entertainment. They will have entertained by the film produced by the Lion Gates. Another form I used in my trailer was the number of cuts. This is proven by looking at the trailer as it has been used throughout the relatively short duration of the teaser trailer. I discovered that the vast majority of teaser trailers, including those promoting films not of the horror/slasher genre, use this form. The quality of cuts also leads to a fast pace in the production. I had used another convention which is used in almost every trailer and movie, whether it is comedy, horror or romance. This is Freytag's pyramid theory, as it describes film having an equilibrium, a climax that is full of action. This is portrayed in my trailer as at the beginning everything is ordinary as a day-to-day basis. We see the group of friends socialising and helping each other out whilst creating a horror book. It is then where the trailer meets a climax, as the clips become more shorter and frequent and the music increases slightly in order to build tension for the audience. Although I followed Freytag's theory, I added my own twist as just as the audience believes the action has fallen. We have a clip where the brother shows up, therefore it tends to remain in your head and makes the audience want to watch the film. Although this is not particularly conventional in Freytag's triangle, however it is conventional in horror trailers. The image that is included within my website and poster came from the inspiration of Scream, as the girl that is on the floor is victim and innocent person, as the murderer is someone dressed in a robe of some sort. Therefore, by combining these two images together, it developed an idea to my audience of some sort of horror movie, which is combining with a horror and slasher. I then used Photoshop to make sure the phallic weapon that the murderer is holding is lit up on the poster. Also, the positioning of the girl on the floor is leaning backwards. I made her pose in this position, showing fear and creating tension. Additional information has also been added to my poster, for example, institutional information. I placed this at the bottom of my poster with a logo of Liongate and also certification of 18. I also put the release date in big capitals placed beneath the title of the film. I made sure that I stuck to 3 simple colours, which are red, black and white. My reason for choosing black is because it creates enigma and makes various images attract the audience. My reason for choosing red and white is because it connotes danger, which therefore means that questions would rise to my audience and they would become inquisitive. On my poster you can see actresses, however there is no names included, therefore only if my audience recognises them they wouldn't know. The reason for not including names, my reason for doing this is because I wanted my audience to go watch the film due to the narrative or the genre, not because of the popularity of the actors. When looking into my creation of my trailer, I made sure it follows the conventions of real media trailers, as it is a short-length film which also gives the audience a snapshot of the film. My audience would get a sense of my genre. I had written a script for my actors to play from. An example of this would be when we see a person wiping blood off the knife, then looking up at the house as if we are in the killer's point of view. We then see 4 actresses sitting around one book writing a horror story, and then hear a random knock on the door at a surprise. This gives a sense of horror as 4 teenagers are on their own in the evening. For along the trailer, one of the actresses is on her own, hiding behind a tree, and answers a surprise phone call. We see her display a picture on her phone, showing that she was once happy. However, we're not sure if this is going to last. This elaborates on how genre conventions are used. Throughout the trailer, I have used background music which is quite eerie, giving a sense of distress. Even though my trailer seems to follow the main conventions, I attempted to challenge by adding captions. The text, it was written before we saw a shot of 4 people sitting in the bedroom around a book. Then, are you afraid of the dark? After we see a person of the group walking into the woods, The audience then get an idea and a snapshot of images alongside with the last piece of text, "No Time for Goodbye," which appears at the end of the trailer. When planning my trailer, I have chosen to incorporate the fact that there is a killer with a motive who stalks the teens. I decided to set my trailer in the woods. This is quite typical for a horror genre film. I also decided to show the main characters in fear, with quick flashing images of them on the floor. I made sure I incorporated a setting, making sure my trailer is mysterious. I've done this by choosing the surroundings which had helped me and my target audience to realise the genre. When choosing my background music, I decided to use non-diegetic sound. I had then edited the music so it would come louder at certain points, creating confusion and tension for my audience. I decided to take into account that my font was quite bold and eye-catching, with having different letters, colours. This helped connote the genre. As the trailer comes to the end, before we see the final caption, we see a medium close-up of the main character on the floor with the killer pointing a knife at her. This shot links back to my poster, which shows there is a connection and importance. When producing my task, I needed to make sure it was consistent, therefore I stuck to 3 colours. When producing my poster and website, I also had to take lighting effects into account, as when filming it was quite dark. However, I had used various lighting materials which helped me create lighting in obscure places and a variety of shadows in different places. My main tagline, "No Time for Goodbye," came from the inspiration of Strangers and Scream, as both films include a killer with no motive. I inserted the tagline into my poster and website and my trailer, making sure if the audience is fond with the film, another connection is also made, just in case they forget the name of the film.